We are Cory and Wallace, an early retired couple on a full-time journey around the world. With a passion for exploring new cultures, discovering hidden gems, and enjoying delicious local food, we are on a mission to experience as much of the world as we can.
Welcome back to another beautiful sunny day in Bucharest, Romania.
Today we are going to take you guys with us as we go and explore some of the sites here in Bucharest. First thing we got to do though is we're going to head about 10 minutes away from our Airbnb and hit the metro station, and we'll show you how that works here. We are here in Louis metro station, and these are the kiosks you need to buy tickets from. They're pretty straightforward. There is an option for English on there. For some reason, we got told we couldn't film, so we stopped filming up there. But anyways, we got our cards. So what I was saying is you can buy a reloadable card that is rechargeable, like a actual proper card, or you can buy basically paper tickets, and you can get them for daily, weekly, or a 2-ride or a 10-ride. Now the 2-ride is 10 lei, but we went with the 10 rides because that was only 40 lei, so you get a couple for free basically. So yeah, that ends up being only 4 lei per ride on this line, and that's, you know, like $1 and change, which isn't too bad. So we are going to catch our train and we'll be on our way.
And the 10-time ticket, from what we can tell, is valid for a year.
We've ridden 4 stops on the what was that one? That was the M3 line. We're now at Piața Unirii station, and that's an interchange station, so we're switching over to the M2 line, and we've got 4 or 5 more stops, 4 more stops to go until we get to our destination. We've made it to our first stop on our tour of Bucharest. Behind us is the Arcul de Triumf, which was built in 1921, and it was built to commemorate Romania's victory in World War I, as well as the coronation of King Ferdinand I.
And if I'm not mistaken, Bucharest is known as Little Paris. I'm not sure, or at least it's compared to that.
And I think, yeah, either Little Paris or Paris of the East, like as in Eastern Europe. I don't know that, you know, Romanians would necessarily agree with that.
I don't know what kind of comparison. We've never been to Paris, so I can't compare. But that is something I read.
Yeah, and obviously you know, it obviously bears a very striking resemblance to the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. However, you know, it's very beautiful, and they even have the crosswalks painted out into towards the roundabout, so you can actually get a pretty nice view of it, an unobstructed view except for all the traffic around here. But yeah, it's a pretty cool place, and it is also one of the most important landmarks here in Bucharest. And every year on December 1st, which I believe is their national holiday or Independence Day, or I'm not sure which, they hold military parades here.
You can actually get close to it and walk all the way around it. You can also pay 15 lei per person to go inside, and I believe there's an elevator that goes up to the top. We came across the street from the Arc de Triomphe, and there's a really nice park. It's the King Michael I Park.
Yeah, conveniently located right across the street from the archway there. Although it's a really big intersection, it's like a 4-lane roundabout. But this park is 187 hectares, I believe. It was established in 1936, and it is formed around a big lake in the middle, and it also is the location or the home of the I believe it's called Elizabeta Palace, which is the home of the royal family of Romania.
It looks really pretty, so I'm hoping it'll be like a real nature park.
We are currently in a Japanese garden here in the grounds of the park. Honestly, it's seen better days. It's a little run down. The little wooden bridge over there is broken. This water fountain feature is dried up and just full of leaves and debris. It's reasonably quiet, given that we're right in the middle of the city, but you can still hear like police and ambulance sirens everywhere you go, though. So you definitely can't forget that you're in the middle of the city.
You don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you
The lake is man-made, so I think what they did is they widened the river at a certain point because it is connected to the river. Unfortunately, it looks really gross. I think possibly an algae bloom or something. Anyways, it is not inviting for a swim.
Something I don't understand about this park is that throughout the park there's these stone busts of historical figures, but none of them are Romanian. So far we've seen busts of Mark Twain,
William Shakespeare.
Ludwig van Beethoven, Shakespeare, like all historical figures, but just I don't know how that ties into Romanian history. So just something weird, I thought. And once again, we've got all these busts, I guess, these really large busts of important historical figures. I've translated a couple of the plaques. They're all in Romanian, of course, not in English. But looking at them, they're all political figures. And again, they're not Romanian. This guy here was from the Netherlands. That guy was born in Rome. But they do all have some sort of connection to European politics. So I'm not sure what the point of this particular area of the park is. Just something interesting, I thought. I would have expected to learn more about Romanian history here. All right, I think that's going to do it for King Michael I Park. We haven't seen the whole thing because, again, it's 187 hectares of park grounds, and we don't have that many hours of daylight left to kill. So we're going to head out. But overall, I don't know. I think it was a little bit underwhelming. What do you think?
I think it was, but I think that's like our history of coming from Canada, and we're used to like old growth forests and stuff, and a park being a park untouched. Maybe that's just not the case here. So it's got its own beauty to it. If you're close by, I would say come for a stroll. I wouldn't go out of my way to come here, though.
Agreed. The Arcul de Triumf is literally right across the street, so you get to kill two birds with one stone, and that is a pretty cool monument to see. The park being right here next to that is convenient, but in general, yeah, I found it a little run down, like some of the park facilities and things like that. Just, could have used a little more maintenance. But other than that, you know what? It's a nice, quiet, peaceful park in the middle of a big city, so it is what it is. I think that's going to do it for now, and we're going to head on.
Several days later.
It is now a few days later, and we are continuing on with our tour of Bucharest, Romania. We are currently standing here in front of the Palace of Parliament, which is the third largest administration building in the world, and it is also the heaviest building in the world, weighing in at over 4 million tons. It was built in 1997, I believe under communist rule back then, but now it is basically the seat of the Romanian parliament. Well, you guys, we were going to go inside the Palace of Parliament and have a look around. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to be happening today. There is a sign here at the door that in order to go in, you do have to go through security screening, and you have to present a valid passport or government ID, and driver's licenses are not accepted. We don't have our passports with us because we're wandering around town today, so unfortunately it looks like we're not going to be able to go in today.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, in theory, they just want to know that everybody that's going in is legit and who's coming and going. So it's understandable.
Yeah. We're walking over towards Old Town right now from the Palace of Parliament, and just coming down the street, see this restaurant behind us here called Cereal Crunch, and had a glance in, and it's like basically a breakfast restaurant, but it's got like a cereal bar, which is really awesome.
What did happen to the last 10? I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to
We
leave,
just
but now
were
I'm saying
wandering
I'm
around and we noticed that this street was barricaded off, and it looks like it's not a one-off. There's a sign here that says Saturday to Sunday between 9 to 11 that bikes and scooters are prohibited, and it looks like all traffic.
And 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Is what Cory meant. And yeah, this is the main street that cuts through Old Town here in Bucharest. So it looks like it's just pedestrian only for basically the whole weekend, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so that is just something really interesting.
Except that bike just went by.
Not everybody follows the rules.
It's getting a little busier here in Old Town now. You can hear there's music from buskers, there's people walking around, tour groups taking guided tours. It's a pretty awesome vibe, honestly.
Yeah.
Behind us across the street is the CEC Palace, which is also called the Palace of the Deposits and Consignments. It's one of the oldest banks here in Bucharest, and it was built in 1900, and it is a beautiful, beautiful building. It's got this like glass dome up on top, just stunning architecture here. Well, that was a really little surprise. That was the Zlatari Church, I believe it's pronounced.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
It's tiny, so I couldn't do like much in there. I filmed as much as I felt comfortable filming, so some of it might be a little rough, but the frescoes in there were just amazing.
As was the stained glass windows, which
Yeah.
I love. No, that was unexpected. Just this little church here as we're walking through Old Town, and just beautiful.
Is this really happening? I can't be too sure. But one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be
We are now heading into the Macca Villacrosse Passageway. This is a 19th century passageway. It's just glass, like got this glass top lining the entire thing, and the ground floor nowadays is just lined with pubs and cafes. Our next stop here in Old Town is right behind us here. It is the Church of the Stavropolios, which is an Orthodox monastery, and it was built in 1724, but it was partially rebuilt in the early 1900s after it suffered some earthquake damage. It is probably one of the most popular spots here in Old Town Bucharest, so we're gonna try to head on in and take a look around.
We're in a walkway behind the church, and we're pretty sure that these are all old tombstone covers.
What did you think of the Church of Stavropolios?
Stunning. The frescoes are just incredible. That whole building is just covered with them. It's really hard to capture. And yeah, that just, I'm not used to such old buildings with such beauty behind them.
Yeah, hopefully that comes across on the GoPro. I tried to do some photos off my phone, and it was really difficult just because it's such a tight space. So it is a very small church, just like the Zlatari church was. A very small space on the inside, except this place was very crowded. Lots of people here, rightfully so. It is absolutely beautiful. Definitely one of the more popular spots down here in Old Town Bucharest today, I would think. But yeah. Very well worth seeing, and it's free to go in and look around, and definitely worth a stop here.
We decided to stop for a little bit of lunch, mostly me, because I don't believe this place is going to have too many gluten-free options for Cory, but we'll get her taken care of after. This is Arcul de Triumf, which I believe is one of the oldest restaurants here in Bucharest. This place has been around since 1879. It's massive, it's busy, and it's definitely a vibe in here. As you can see, this place is crazy busy. It was built originally in 1879 as a brewery, so it's been in operation for 146 years, which is really impressive. This place has like wood paneling everywhere, stained glass windows, and it is architecturally very beautiful. All right, so I've just gone with a light snack here. This is mici, which is a traditional Romanian dish. It's a skinless sausage that should be beef, lamb, and pork mixture with spices, and it's served with a mustard as well as French fries on the side. So let's get into it and see how this tastes. Knife to cut through that. I'm gonna try the first bite of sausage without any mustard on it. Oh, that's delightful. That's got a great flavor behind it. Try it with the mustard this time. Dang, that is tasty. And the French fries, which they're French fries, nothing special. The sausages are delicious. It's just savory. I can't quite pinpoint all the spices in it. I like that it's skinless. I'm not usually a big fan of skin on my sausages. Thank you very much. And it's just really salty, really savory, really great texture on the sausage meat itself. And then the mustard absolutely makes it. It's such a great mustard, and it just, this would be perfect with an ice cold beer kind of food. Wouldn't necessarily do this as a meal on its own normally, but as a snack, this is fantastic. The mici was good, really savory, really tasty, hit the spot quite well. And now I've got this monster of a dessert, which unfortunately only I can have because it is definitely not gluten-free. And this is called papanash, which is a traditional Romanian donut for all intents and purposes. It's made with a cheese dough, like a soft cheese, and fried with a little donut ball on top. And it's served with what I believe is sour cream, and in this case, like a blueberry sauce. Oh yeah, the cream and the sauce is delicious. The actual donut itself is looking like a bit of a monster. So I'm gonna cut into this. Oh, it's quite doughy on the inside, and you can see how thick it is. It's softer than I'd have expected though. Wow, that's delightful. It's a lot softer inside than I would have expected. And then you get a lot of that tartness off the sour cream and the blueberry sauce. That's really good. So you can see that's what the inside looks like. And this is freshly made. It's still warm and the donut is still crispy. So this is excellent. And this is one of the most popular or most famous traditional Romanian desserts. And I totally can understand why.
So how was it?
I am absolutely stuffed. It was delicious, though not gonna lie, the papanache towards the end got really heavy, really difficult to eat because that was just a lot. So I didn't quite make it all the way through, but definitely worth checking out. What is this place called again? Arcul de Triumf. If you're here in Bucharest, definitely worth checking out. Just the vibe in there is really cool. It's just really old. I've never seen a restaurant with so many people walking around taking photos and videos of the inside. That should tell you something. It's something else in there.
Now, to be fair, I didn't even bother trying to find gluten-free on the menu. I'm sure some dishes could be accommodated, but in the Find Me Gluten-Free app, the reviews were that waiters were rude and dismissive about it, and I just didn't want to go down that route. Sometimes you just don't want to deal with trying to explain every little thing and then having to trust that they would take care of you. So we're going to go elsewhere for my food.
A few moments later.
I got some food at Tom Yum. It's just a Thai restaurant. I didn't bother filming it because it's not Romanian food, and it was delicious. You can find it on the Find Me Gluten-Free app. They have a really good reviews, and they do take care of you because they have a separate gluten-free menu. So I do recommend it.
So we're just continuing our wandering down here in Old Town. And actually just, as we are passing by this restaurant today, that's the first time someone's tried to sell us something, trying to get us into her restaurant there. Otherwise, it's such a laid back vibe
Culture,
up here.
yeah.
And it's just, I'm kind of liking it. And also with just the area we're in right now, the weekend, the main road's closed to traffic. It's just super pedestrian friendly, super easy to get around. The weather is fantastic. It's mid to high 20s, nice light breeze, not too hot. I don't think I could ask for a better day to be wandering around downtown Bucharest.
No, this is the first day that has a hint of fall in it, and that's kind of nice. We're not sweating, and we've been out all day, which hasn't happened yet. This is the first day, so honestly, we're just enjoying that.
Anyways, we're gonna head off to our next destination. We'll be there in a few minutes.
So one of the other places that I went was to Le Monde Bakery. It's a dedicated gluten-free bakery, and we just brought the treats home because it'd be way easier, and also the space was not set up for eating. It was just literally a take and go. So I got lady fingers with chocolate hazelnut filling. The filling is really nice. The cookie is actually pretty good. It's a little mealy, so you can definitely tell it's gluten-free. But it's actually pretty pleasant in the mouth. So I'd say that one's the win. The other thing I got was a hazelnut cookie with, walnut cookie. It's called a walnut cookie because it looks like a walnut. And he said the filling was nuts, basically. Okay, so you can see that it just fell apart. The flavor is actually really, really good. And the filling is not too sweet, which is perfect. And it's more nutty. As far as a cookie goes, it's not bad for gluten-free. I got also a donut, which I heated up because he recommended that I do. You know what? For a gluten-free donut, that's as close to a donut that I remember ever having. Now, keep in mind, I haven't had a real donut in like 18 years, but it's soft, it's chewy, it's very resembling a donut. I'm impressed. That's probably the best donut I've had, or donut that I've had since gluten-free. And this is like a cheese pocket. I would say closer to like phyllo pastry with cheese in it. He said it was salty cheese. Okay, I'm impressed. The dough is more akin to phyllo pastry than I've ever seen. And it acts like it, and it tastes like it. And it didn't fall apart when I had a bite. That tastes amazing. He said it was salty cheese with mozzarella, and it almost tastes like mac and cheese. That is really delightful. And the last thing I got was a caramel tart. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to heat it up or not, but I'll just take a bite and see. Wow. The pie dough or tart dough is phenomenal. It is by far the closest to an actual pie crust that I've had. It's not even like shortbread, it's more flaky. Okay, if you're in Bucharest, this place is a little bit out of the way. It's Le Monde. I'll pop up the screen. And I think we walked half an hour out of Old Town. I cannot recommend this enough. These are probably the best treats I've had by far at any gluten-free bakery. So, highly recommend.
I just had a bite of a little nibble of each of Cory's gluten-free treats, and I concur. For gluten-free, those are some of the best bakery treats that we've encountered in a long time. So yeah, Le Monde gluten-free bakery, definitely a winner.
And we're here at, I can never remember the name.
This is Carteresti Carousel. It's a bookstore here in Old Town, and it's just in this really cool building. Multi-story building. I think there's a cafe up on the upper floor, and it's just a really cool little bookstore that we saw online, so we wanted to come check it out.
Yeah, I think it's an old historic building that's been repurposed, and they did a beautiful job. So it's well worth coming. It's huge, and there's tons to look at. You could spend like your whole day here if you wanted, just to like browse and try to find something.
Yeah, so we're gonna wander around, but I think this is where we're gonna leave you guys for this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed wandering around Bucharest with us. If you did, please hit the thumbs up to give us a like, and make sure you subscribe.
And join us in our next video for more adventures. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.